What makes you fat? It's the carbs. And this fat is one of the most dangerous fats. So let's have a look at this pancreas. We're going to put our pancreas here. Here's pancreas. Now the pancreas, there's the big P, it releases insulin. And as I just showed you, insulin unlocks the door to get the glucose inside the cell. You see, when blood glucose levels are high, then high insulin's released. And what the insulin does is it gets the glucose out of the blood and into the energy pathway, or storing here, or storing as there. In fact, insulin's got a one-set mind. I must store, I must store, I must store. So a lot of people with diabetes, you'll find they're carrying excess weight. Because what's their brain doing? Through insulin, I must store. You see that? Now there's another hormone that the pancreas releases, and it's glucagon. Now what insulin does, it gets the blood sugar level down, as I've just shown you. But if blood glucose levels go too low, glucagon's released and it gets blood sugar levels up. So can you see the pancreas releases these two main hormones that are designed to keep that blood sugar as it should be. But what's happening on this high carbohydrate diet? Huge amounts of glucose are being released, come to the cell, and something starts to develop. It's called insulin resistance. Have you heard of it? Basically, the cell wall says, I'm sick of the sight of you. I'm sick of the sight of you. So it starts to resist. It starts to resist. And the glucose is still in the blood. And the brain's going, oh dear, quick pancreas, more insulin, more insulin, more insulin. But what's the problem? It's not lack of insulin, it's actually insulin resistant. And so eventually the pancreas just says, I'm done with this. I've had enough. I'm worn out. So it's not long after insulin resistance that diabetes happens. Diabetes mellitus simply means sugar in the urine. Because if the glucose can't get into the blood, then it has to spill out into the urine. Can you see that? Do you know the first documented cases of diabetes mellitus was just before the Black Plague in London. And you know what this doctor discovered? That it was only his wealthy patients that it was happening to, because it's only the wealthy that could afford to eat sugar. You see, what sugar does, we've got a red tonight. Yeah, you're still royal, but we're red. So blood glucose levels go up dramatically, when these go in. You see, high glucose demands high insulin. So what happens is, because so much insulin's released, where's blood glucose levels going now? Too low. This is called hypoglycemia. And what does the person do down there? Oh, we'll have a candy, we'll have a Mars bar, we'll have a cup of coffee with 3 teaspoons of sugar. Will that get it up? Oh, yes. Oh, no, we're too high. Stop the glucagon, release the insulin. Oh, no, can you see what's happening here? Crisis, 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 crisis. We had the CEO of one of the big sugar mills in Australia come and do our program. He told me there's 15 teaspoons of sugar in 1 can of Coke. Do you know how much sugar cane is required for 1 teaspoon? About 1 metre. Have you ever eaten sugar cane? How long does it take to get through 2 inches? How long would it take to get through 15 metres? In other words, a can of Coke should take you about the time to drink as it takes to eat 15 metres. You see where it's just overload. So over here we're going to put a list of some of the causes, and we're going to put refined sugar. And this is the pure crystallised acid that's extracted from the sugarcane plant. And there's a little book by William Dufty called Sugar Blues. Because what does sugar cause? The blues. In fact, in the book, he mentions a British endocrinologist called Dr. John Tintara. He's made the statement, scary statement, he said, no one should go on psychiatric medication until they've had a glucose tolerance test first. Is the fact they just can't handle the sugar and it's going too low? See, look at this. God gave us one hormone, insulin, to get those blood glucose levels down. But he actually gave us 6 to get it up again. Because when we're down there, we're no good, eh? What are they? Number 1 is glucagon. That's one of them. Number 2 and 3 and 4 are 3 hormones released from the adrenal glands. One is cortisol. Another one is adrenaline. And another one is a different type of adrenaline called noradrenaline. That's what you feel on the Big Dipper. Now, these 3 hormones are hormones that are released in a crisis. And in a crisis, you need some energy, yeah? So these all are designed to release fat stores to give excess glucose. Glucagon's designed to release fat stores to give excess glucose. Because remember what fat is. It's storage. There's another one, number 5. Number 5 is the human growth hormone. Now, the human growth hormone's active when we're growing. And if a child's growing and needs a little bit more, that human growth hormone can release fat stores to give glucose. When you do high-intensity interval training, and I'll be defining that a little bit later, you cause a release of this human growth hormone. It's called the youth hormone. So it's designed to release fat stores to give glucose we need. Number 6 is thyroxine. Your thyroid gland controls metabolism. So when your metabolic rate drops too low, your thyroid gland can release thyroxine, which will release fat stores to give you glucose. Can you see what God designed? He designed all these hormones to get us back up again. But do you know what's happening today? Say the person's down here. The brain says, quick, pancreas, release glucagon. Pancreas says, no, we're done. We're overworked. We haven't got anything left. Oh, no, quick. The little adrenal glands on top of your kidneys. Quick, release cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline. Adrenal glands say, nah, the person's drinking too much coffee and the bank account's empty. You know the lift people get from having a cup of coffee? Where's that coming from? It's coming from your bank account. It's like stopping work and living on your bank account for a couple of years. How's your bank account? Gone. It's like this lady said to me, I was at a health retreat in America, and on the second day she said, oh, Barbara, I forgot to tell you I'm on speed. Oh, speed. Yeah. Why are you on speed? I need energy. I don't have energy. Oh. And I have to tell you, I stopped yesterday because I thought I probably shouldn't be on it. Oh. She said, and I'm telling you right now, I've got no energy and I'm not happy about it. Oh. Right. I said, where do you think the energy's coming from? She said, the tablets. I said, if it was the tablets, it'd be jumping all around the table. Huh? You'd go into the chemist to buy them and you hang on, I'll just try and grab it here, it's jumping around. Huh? I said, it's coming from your bank account. In fact, the energy it gave you yesterday was today's energy. No wonder you got none. Can you see that? Well, she said, I'm telling you right now, if I go back to work and I haven't got energy, I'm going back on them. Oh. All you can say is, I'm hearing you. Can't agree. I said, I said, you're 33, I imagine you'd like to settle down and have a baby in a few years.